Mythology is not only golden palaces, divine light, and wise prophecies. It is also the dark, damp basements of the universe where even thought treads with caution. Other gods dwell there, not those to whom one appeals for mercy, but those who embody the very essence of chaos, decay, incomprehensible horror, and primordial strangeness. Their visage does not inspire, it chills the soul. Their essence does not console, it forces one to contemplate the darkest corners of existence. Today, we will embark on a journey to this forbidden side of the sacred. We will look into the face, or rather, the countenances of the 5 most terrifying and inexplicably strange deities from the world's pantheons. They are the mirror of our most ancient nightmares. Behold. And we begin with perhaps the most paradoxical and recognizable image. 5th place belongs to the goddess Kali. At first glance, she is the quintessence of terror. Blue-black skin, a garland of freshly severed human heads, a bloodied sword, a long protruding tongue, and she stands upon the body of her own husband, the god Shiva. It seems to be the apex of destruction and uncontrolled fury. But for millions of devotees, she is a loving, albeit strict mother. Her dark color is the color of the infinite, all-consuming cosmos from which everything arises and to which everything returns. The 50 skulls around her neck are not trophies, but symbols of the 50 syllables of Sanskrit. That is, all wisdom and knowledge. And the protruding tongue, legend says that while slaughtering demons, Kali became so enraged that she began to threaten the very fabric of creation. Shiva threw himself beneath her feet to stop her. Stepping upon her husband, Kali, in horror and shame at her own rage, bit her tongue. Therein lies the paradox. She is not a goddess of evil. She is the goddess of time, which is ruthless, and of transformation, which is painful. She destroys to make room for the new. Her terrifying image is shock therapy for the soul, a reminder that creation is impossible without preceding destruction. It is not she who frightens, but the relentless truth she represents. If Kali is an active, furious horror, then in 4th place is a horror that is passive, chilling, absolute. Meet Mictlantecuhtli, Lord of Mictlan the 9th and deepest level of the Aztec underworld. Imagine, not a hell of torments, but an eternal, cold, damp darkness. Silence broken only by the rustle of bats and the cries of owls. There, after a grueling 4-year journey, almost all souls would arrive, and such a master awaited them. His appearance is a hymn to decomposition. A mangy skeleton with burning eyes, adorned not with gold but with paper ornaments and owl feathers, the bird of death. He was often depicted with sagging skin on his belly and an exposed liver, a symbol of the corporeality from which the soul had finally been freed. He does not torment sinners. He simply is present. He is the administrator of the kingdom of non-existence. Herein lies his primordial horror. He is not evil. He is indifferent. He is the final destination, the quiet and hopeless end of everything. His strangeness lies in his absolute, bureaucratic inevitability. He reminds us that the most ancient fear is not the fear of pain, but the fear of oblivion. And now let's make a sharp turn towards a deity that was created to frighten, but not people. 3rd place is taken by the Egyptian dwarf god Bes. Look at him, squat, bearded, with a distorted grimace, a protruding tongue, often depicted in a dancing pose. He resembles a grotesque forest spirit more than a majestic god, and that was his sacred meaning. Bes was the protector of the home, especially of women in childbirth and newborns. The ancient Egyptians believed that evil spirits feared ugliness and noise, and Bes was their perfect repellent. His ugly appearance was a shield. His image was carved onto beds, inscribed on mirrors and cosmetic vessels. He danced, played drums, creating with his appearance and actions such chaos that malevolent beings simply dared not approach. This is a brilliant example of magical thinking, to create an entity more frightening than the most frightening threat itself. His strangeness is functional. He does not embody any element or concept. He is a living, mythological talisman. He reminds us that sometimes the best defense is to pretend to be even stranger and more frightening than your enemy. In second place is a deity whose strangeness, like a Matryoshka doll, contains many layers of meaning. Baba Yaga. Yes, she is the witch from fairy tales, but her roots run deep into Slavic paganism, where she was a powerful chthonic goddess, the mistress of the forest and the boundary between worlds. Her home is a hut on chicken legs which turns its back to the forest and its front to the guest. This is not mere fantasy. Chicken possibly comes from smoked, meaning fumigated with smoke, standing on stumps where the dead were buried. The hut is a portal to the world of the dead Nav, and Yaga herself is its guardian. She tests heroes. She eats the foolish and weak, returning them to the womb of Mother Earth, while the worthy she tests and endows with magical gifts, living water, a guiding ball. Her bony leg is a symbol of connection with ancestors. Her nose, touching the ceiling, is a hyperbole of antiquity and sensitivity. She is not simply evil. She is the personification of wild nature, unconquered by humanity. She is wise just in her ruthlessness and utterly self-sufficient. Her horror is the horror of the wild forest, of the unknown rules of another world. Her strangeness lies in this dual role, both devourer and bestower. She is the most complex and multifaceted character in our top. And so we have approached the pinnacle of our strange and terrifying pantheon. First place I award to a creature whose logic and motivation are so alien to human understanding that they evoke a primal, animalistic horror. This is the Aztec, servant of the rain gods, the Tlaloc. It dwells in the depths of Mexican lakes. Imagine a quiet night, a moonlit path on the water, and from it emerges this: a creature resembling a sleek black dog or otter with monkey-like grasping paws, and on the tip of its tail a fifth limb, exactly like a human hand. It does not attack noisily. It quietly swims up to a lone traveler by the water, a fisherman or a reed gatherer, and then that hand on the tail grabs the victim and pulls them under. But here is the key moment. The Aztec does not eat the body. It carefully extracts the eyes, teeth, and nails. Precisely these trophies it brings to its masters, the Tlaloc. Why? No one knows. Herein lies its absolute, otherworldly strangeness. It is not a god of death like Mictlantecuhtli. It is not a warrior like Kali. It is a collector, a creature with a divine task incomprehensible to us humans. Its horror is the horror of the absurd, of an inexplicable rule in a game we don't even know how to play. It is the embodiment of the idea that the gods can have interests and needs so alien, so extraterrestrial, that we cannot even comprehend them. It does not just frighten, it confounds, pulling the rug from under our feet. And in this, it is the champion of strangeness. So, what have we seen? 5 faces of divine horror, the active, transformative fury of Kali, the indifferent void of Mictlantecuhtli, the functional grotesque of bees, the wise and dualistic wildness of Baba Yaga, and the absurd, incomprehensible alienness of the Aztec. What they have in common is this: they are all vessels into which humanity, since ancient times, has poured its strongest, uncontrollable fears. Fear of time, of non-existence, of invisible threats, of wild nature, and finally, of the very irrationality and unknowability of the universe. These gods are not evil, they are necessary counterweights, a reminder that the universe is neither friendly nor hostile. It is varied, and sometimes its true face can be so strange and frightening that it can only be described in the images of these incredible beings. Perhaps the greatest deity is this very immense, unknowable, and at times very strange reality itself. And which deity seemed the most frightening or strange to you? Share in the comments, give a like if you found it interesting, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new journeys into myths and legends. Until next time.